This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, I am Brianna Wright, Executive Director of the American Subcontractors Houston chapter. And today I have with me is ASA member Amaris Dawson, Vice President Commercial Lending at Amegy Bank, for today's hot topic discussion with an industry expert. We're going to talk about, or she's going to talk about, the Paycheck Protection Program, which is part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security CARES Act. It's a nearly $350 billion program intended to provide American small businesses with 8 weeks of cash flow assistance through 100% federally guaranteed loans. We're having this discussion on the late afternoon of Thursday, April 2nd, and the program goes into effect tomorrow. So what we'll discuss today is general information, what we know now, but some of that can change once the program goes live, but this is just more general stuff. So Amaris, with that, you want to kind of start and give us a little understanding of what this whole thing is and what the general information eligibility, those types of things?
Thanks, Brianna. So what we know today is that the program is designed for small businesses with less than 500 employees. This also includes nonprofits, so that's something that's a little different. And so if you have less than 500 employees, you are automatically eligible to apply. What we don't know right now is if the SBA is going to put additional exclusions or qualifications onto applicants. We've been getting some feedback that there may be some sort of certification or proof of impact from the coronavirus in order to apply, but at this time we don't have details of what that will be yet. In terms of how the loan amount is calculated, we know that it's 2.5 times your average monthly payroll costs, which include wages, tips, commissions, as well as 401k contributions and benefits. So sick leave, vacation time, health benefit premiums, and things like that. And so that's how the loan amount will be calculated. We also know that every loan will have identical structures. So the only difference between the loans that will be made is the borrower name and the amount based off of what their payroll costs are. But everything else will be exactly the same. It will have 6-month principal deferrals, but interest will accrue during that time. There will be a 0.5% fixed interest rate through the life of the loan. There will be a 2-year term. No collateral, no personal guarantees, no fees, which is a very different aspect of a traditional SBA loan. Normally SBA loans have a variety of fees associated with them, but this has no fees from the client. And it has a 100% SBA guarantee. So from a credit perspective, this is a very easy loan for a bank to do because there is no risk because it's 100% guaranteed by the federal government. So things that other people want to know about is how this loan can be forgiven. There is a forgiveness aspect to these loans, and how that forgiveness is calculated is based off of, one, maintaining the same level of employees that you had at the beginning of this program. And so either maintaining your existing workforce or quickly rehiring employees that have been laid off in the last few weeks, and making sure that hours of pay and number of people remain relatively the same from earlier this year. And then another factor of that is what the funds are used for. So the funds should only be used for payroll, rent, mortgage interest, utilities, and other interest on debts. But payroll needs to be at least 75% of the uses in order to qualify for forgiveness. And that will be determined based off of the 8 weeks after the loan has been made. Okay. And then biggest question now is when does the application open and where and how do I apply? So you will apply through a SBA bank lender. And so Amegy, for example, is an SBA fast track lender. And so you'll get this loan through your bank. Applications are set to open tomorrow, Friday, April 3rd. The SBA is still finalizing the application format. Right now they have a sample application posted on their website, and I know it's been floating around in the community a lot. We are not recommending that you fill that application out at this time because we have already seen it change multiple times this week. And so we just recommend using it as a guide of what information could be needed and expecting what you'll need to fill out, but we don't recommend filling out that application or sending it to your bank at this time. If you haven't been in contact with your banker, call them today, ask them to notify you when the final application is available, because we are going to be notified when applications are available and ready to be accepted. But in the meantime, things that you can be working on to prepare your application file is to gather your 2019 payroll information, so including how much you paid in wages, as well as all of those other benefits and 401k that I explained earlier. And then also make sure you have information for your the company's ownership and whether or not the owners are investors in other businesses, and if those businesses are affiliated with any other businesses, and because that could impact the number of employees rule, which we are also expecting to get additional guidance on tomorrow. And then the biggest thing that we're recommending is once applications are open and you can fill it out and you know what documentation the bank and the SBA are going to require, is that you submit a complete application, because sending things in piecemeal or an incomplete application could result in slowing down the process, because the bankers are only going to be able to work on applications that are complete. And we're expecting a ton of volume among all of our clients. There are going to be millions of companies applying for these loans. And so to keep the process moving quickly, we recommend that you submit complete applications.
Yeah, because it's going to be hard for you to go through incomplete applications. Contact the person, tell them what you need when you have a stack of applications that you need to get through to get those processed. How long do you think the process will take? So let's say tomorrow the applications are open, we get the real one, we get it all filled out, we have all of our information, and I send it off to you and say, okay, Amaris, here's all of my stuff. That's Friday. When should I be looking for my money?
So to be perfectly honest, it's going to vary between banks. Banks will each have their own process to work through these, but we're really hoping it'll be a 2 to 3 week turnaround from receipt of the complete application, because the credit process should be pretty quick. You know, we're not worried, they're very low risk loans, so we're not worried about the credit underwriting part of this. It's going to be purely working through the volume. And so the hope is that it would be within a 2 to 3 week time frame.
Okay. And you had said, we chatted earlier, that I mean, with this volume that's coming through for bankers, we all need to be very patient with our bankers.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot on you guys in a very quick time, and we're looking to you to be the experts on it. But as all the information changes, sometimes hourly, on what this means, I know you guys are working diligently to make sure you have all the information, but then once the floodgates open tomorrow, you got to shift into getting all of these sent in. Well, I think that's about everything we can talk about generally on what people should be doing. And like you said, contact your banker if you plan on doing this, so they know to contact you as soon as the application is out. Maybe start gathering stuff, or start gathering stuff. And I know ASA, we sent out an email earlier to all of our members with the sample application, and then also a fact sheet, and then an information sheet on it. And so that has a lot of the information on it as well, but it's just nice to just hear it verbally in the discussion format instead of having to read through all of that. So at that, thank you, Amaris, so much for taking your time today to do this. I appreciate it. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.